And right now, well, yeah, I guess right now, it's Rick and Tony. We're live with you on our post-race podcast for the Coca Cola 600 that we went to this weekend in Charlotte. Tony, are you awake?
Yeah, wow, it was a crazy event, man. I enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm glad, man. I slipped off there. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, we had quite the adventure this weekend, and I'm sure everybody's just dying to know what happened. So, I'm going to let you kick everything off. What did you think about the drive down?
Man, it was beautiful. Got up about 5 a.m. and drove to Bristol, beautiful Bristol.
Ooh. Yeah.
And decided, we had to make a choice there, go 8177 or go through the beautiful mountains and go through Mountain City, Boone, that direction. And, man, it was a good choice, I believe.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, we saw a lot of things you never see on the interstate, that's for sure. And, I mean, that old guy that was standing next to the road peeing, that just topped it off, man.
Yeah,
dude that had the suspenders on, but didn't have any pants. Remember him?
I didn't see that, but if you saw it,
scarred me for life.
I had my eyes on the road most of the time. So
Thank God, because you may have had a stomach problem the rest of the day. I don't know, but it was just kind of strange. I'm not going to say where that was either.
That may have happened anyway. But
yeah, telling you.
But, we rolled down there. What time did we get into Charlotte or the Concord?
Probably around 10 o'clock. We did run into a little bit of traffic coming in on, what was that, Bruton Smith
Boulevard.
Boulevard, yeah. He's got a boulevard. We turned onto there, man, and it was just kablam.
Yeah.
But you just had a flat tire, you're just sitting there.
It was pretty quick, though, considering we moved maybe a few miles in 30 minutes or something like that, and then we were in. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But it was okay. When we got in there, the whole facility is, of course, we picked up our media credentials at the office there, and there's, we want to give a big shout out to everybody that works in the credentials office at any of these racetracks. You have a terribly hard job. And I don't know. I'm going to say it anyway. Miss Myra Falconberry, we love you, both of us, Tony and myself, and because you made the day a lot easier for us, and we had a lot more to look forward to, knowing that we would have these opportunities to talk to a lot of different people, interview a lot of different interesting people.
Yeah. And
run into people that we didn't know we were going to run into that we got to talk to. So
Myra, Speedway Motorsports, Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yes.
I keep thinking back at the guy at the credentials desk. I didn't get his name. I should have. I've talked to him twice now, but we didn't think he was paying any attention to us at all. But when 310-pound, 6'5" guy, and yourself jump out of a Prius, I guess it gets noticed.
A Prius hybrid, okay? I didn't know those things could hold all this payload. Plus our crap we took,
He was laughing when we walked in the door, so we already...
I guarantee it, man.
We already won the hearts and minds there, I think.
Guess that's what you'd say. Either that or he's telling a lot of fat jokes this week. I don't know. What is it?
Well, so,
we had a good time, though.
Yeah, we rolled right in through the Gate 26 tunnel. Hopped on a golf cart and rode right to the media center. And set up
straight to the credential office, or the media center, I mean.
Who was the first person we saw there?
Oh, my God. And, a lot of people are not going to, I'm going to let you tell everybody because I don't think they're going to believe me.
We got in there, set up, got a drink. Just
15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 15 minutes. Mike Hilton walks down the hall.
Yeah,
and
Mike Hilton.
It's kind of starstruck to us, I guess. We didn't get to talk to him.
Well, he's a good Bristol, Tennessee native. Right. But he's got a great job with NASCAR. He's a very important person with NASCAR, and I think that's my thing. One day I get to sit down with Mike Hilton and just have a talk. Not so much about stuff he can't tell me about, but just about him.
Right.
We made an appearance, or I made an appearance at a local business a few days ago. Might as well give them a plug again. Sidetrack Tobacco is where I go to buy all my cigars, and had a little to do there. And one of the most interesting pictures I saw on this guy's wall, he had pictures of everybody, and he had a picture of Mike Helton buying his cigars in there. So I really feel good about buying my cigars in there now.
Right. Yeah, Mike has probably the hardest job in NASCAR.
Oh, man.
You know, being in charge comes with a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, I would not want that job because I don't know that I can handle that much pressure all the time. It's hard enough working with you, Tony.
Right, I know. I mean, shoot.
Tony and I have the best jobs in the world. I've come to that conclusion. With what we have to deal with in our personal and everyday lives, and then we start kicking around netradiodogs.com on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and just the website itself too is really hard to keep good content on.
Right.
But I mean, we do a lot just as individuals,
right.
But we love what we do.
We used every minute. We used every minute of Sunday, every minute of that time,
every second.
Yeah, everything was completely occupied by doing this, getting this media, getting this shot, getting this interview, getting to this point A to point B. It was pretty neat. But as soon as we walked into the place, we noticed that they had the Hall of Fame inductees, and their, of course, the NASCAR driver that was there was Terry Labonte.
Yeah.
You had a chance to interview Terry.
Terry's a cool guy. I've been really wanting to interview Terry Labonte for a long time. I know people that have been in a situation with Terry Labonte, where they've gotten an opportunity just to talk to him off the cuff. Maybe not a friend of his, but Terry's a great guy. Terry is a guy just like us. He is a guy that worked his tail off in NASCAR, got into the Hall of Fame, operates, 3 businesses?
Right.
This is retirement? It was the same question I was asking him. What retirement? Sounds like you're just getting started myself here, but
you could tell he's
cool. He likes to fish. That's cool.
He's still in shape. He could jump right in the car and probably go 600 miles with no trouble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He could have been in that race and finished from 10th on back. I mean, with anybody's car, maybe even better.
That many years, he knows all the little tricks and how to take care of business. So,
right.
Hats off to
pretty
young, for sure.
Yeah, pretty young looking guy to be in a Hall of Fame. But
yeah, I was shocked. I was like, wow, dude.
Yeah, Bruton
Smith, he took care of himself,
Right. Bruton Smith was inducted, but he wasn't feeling well enough
to,
I guess, come. But you got to meet Bruton's son, I believe, didn't you?
Yeah, happened to run into Marcus out there when I was out tromping around doing what I do, and couldn't pass up, just stopping and saying hi, introducing myself, and man, that guy has a lot of weight on his shoulders too.
Right.
But he's a very well educated young man. He's been a doctor. He's actually been in journalism also. Right. This guy is our modern day Renaissance man. I guess you have to be in all of that if you're going to run Speedway Motorsports, because you've got a lot of tracks you're going to have to stay on top of, is what's going on here, what's going on there. And I'd say he's probably got a ton of people under him that are, you just keeping him updated every day would be a job, I would think.
Right.
I mean, it would be tough. But he brought some friends with him, and they enjoyed the race in the front stretch there in the boxes, and just caught him, off the cuff, like I said, when I came by, and said a couple things to him, and we actually talked about Bristol Motor Speedway, which is one of my favorite tracks, and just let him know that, hey, that everybody at Bristol likes what you're doing, and let's just keep Bristol rolling. And I hope he took me for my words, because that's what I mean. There's a lot of fans that come to Bristol that are, this is the one trip they take every year, and it's at Bristol Motor Speedway. So.
Yeah, Bristol and Charlotte, those are definitely my two favorite tracks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, up until this point, I'd never been there, and we went there for netradiodogs.com, and things are great there. I really like that track. I like the track. I like how they spread everything out, but I'm going to tell you something. Working for the media, you have to try to get to everywhere, like point A to point B, and you have a schedule of interviews you have to do and you want to do, and man, it's tough sometimes because the place is huge. It's gigantic.
Right.
So,
yeah, we somehow managed, and I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know how, but we did.
Now, we're still recovering, though.
Oh, my God.
We ran into people, and we talked to everybody. People that listen to us probably already know that.
Yeah.
But, they hadn't opened the garages when we got to the garage area the first time. And we're standing there. All the teams were waiting to get in the garages. And there's a security guy sitting there right beside the gate. And
I can't remember this guy's name, though. I wish I could remember.
And a Kozlowski teammate, and there was which team was the other guy? Allmendinger's team.
Yeah.
And there was some banner maybe about the Yankees. I don't know.
Well, what do you think? That's not too uncommon. But yeah, it was. I just happen to. My thing is, I wear my Yankees hat all the time because I'm a huge Yankees fan.
Right.
And the guy coming in, he started talking about the Yankees and stuff, what a big Yankee fan he was, and then these guys started jumping in, and there was some Red Sox fan in there somewhere, but he didn't. After we started talking, he didn't say too much.
Right. I tried to get him. I said, come on, you got something.
Yeah. He
wouldn't
did,
do it.
But you know what? You can't argue with 28 world or 27 world championships. I'm already saying 28 because I know it's going to happen this year. But anyway, yeah, that'll shut them up every time.
So we had a ball all day long. We talked to everybody. Warren, we got to see Warren and Brady at the pit road gate again.
Yeah, the two security guys.
Yeah, they are.
And they liked us, but they did not cut us 1 second's worth of slack.
Nope.
You guys can't be here right now. You need to move over there.
I can't repeat any of Brady's jokes. Everything he says, I can't repeat.
Well, this is internet. I mean, we could probably do that, Tony.
Oh yeah, but I personally care.
These guys are great. If you ever get to go to a Charlotte race, you need to ask where Warren and Grady are, and they'll send you over to where these dudes are because they're just nuts, man. But
they keep everything under control. Yeah.
They're sort of bored, I think. And then when Tony and I would walk around over there and see them, they'd smile a little bit. So we had a good time with those guys, man. But if we didn't have people that we knew kind of there, to help us blow off a little steam every once in a while, it would have been a very long day.
Right.
It would have been a lot worse.
So we got to go to the garage area. We looked at all the cars and things going on. Got a couple pictures of that.
Mm-hmm.
Not much was going on, but we had to get quickly back over across. I don't know how many 100 yards it is to
man,
where the stage was.
Yeah.
Roll up and see Nashville Crush playing.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I was Liftmaster. It's one of the proud sponsors of everything going on over there. They were putting on a garage band contest.
Right.
And these guys were I guess they were the winners.
Yeah, well,
of that.
They're
was
pretty popular now.
Well, there was like 5, 6. Let's see. Yeah, there was like 5 or 6 guys in this band, and they were wearing it out. It was at least 85 degrees outside. Everybody was sweating, You know, and I'm standing down there in the crowd with about 15,000 of my closest friends that I don't know yet. Smelling stuff that I'm not sure where it came from.
I don't know about that. I didn't hear that.
Well, I didn't mean that. I mean, there was just like people that needed to bathe. Anyway.
Yeah, the infield.
But anyway, yeah, the infield area was full of all kinds of neat stuff.
People been camping all weekend.
Oh, yeah, and I think maybe that had something to do with it. But these guys were putting on a show and a half, man, and they were getting ready to wrap up their set, and somebody came out and said, hey, you're going to have to play a little bit more because the guys from ZZ Top haven't come out of their bus yet.
They didn't complain a bit.
No, they did not mind, and neither did the crowd. The crowd was really happy. I mean, a lot of people want to see ZZ Top live, but if you can see these guys live, you need to go.
Yeah, it's a good show.
They were really good. So, but of course, after that, you know, we got to see the legendary guys from ZZ Top, and these guys are awesome.
Right.
Incredible. Sounded great. And I just started thinking, you know, about things when we were standing there watching these guys play. I was like, you know, this is only a portion of what this week has been about at Charlotte after the All-Star race, and this all during this week, and, you know, right before the Coca Cola 600. And it just shocks me how much that NASCAR and the people at Charlotte Motor Speedway, how much they care about the fans.
Yeah, I mean,
the day so much.
The day wasn't even partially over at that point. I mean,
oh no.
You know, by the time ZZ Top had played, there was still a huge show to be put forward other than the race. So it was
little did we know.
Pretty wild.
Yeah. So it was quite a show, and then we unfortunately had to skip out on the rest of it, which I thought Tony was going to cry for a second. And he may have. I think he did on the way back.
Man. I want to see ZZ Top the whole concert.
Yeah.
It was all for a good reason. It was a great.
Yeah, we had our own little schedule going, and Charlotte Motor Speedway has their own little schedule going, and you have to try to make the two mesh. Right. So here we go. We're taking off back over. Go right by Tommy Baldwin's trailer, the number 7 car. Our old friend Tommy Baldwin.
Right. And
Tommy's standing out there, and we weren't scheduled really to talk to Tommy till about 2:30, I think it was, as his PR people had lined up for us.
Right.
And so we go, and Tommy says, I got this meeting at 1:30, blah, blah, blah. Hey, let's just do it now. I said, great.
Right.
So he grabs me and Tony, and he says, come on, let's go in the hauler where the air conditioning's going. I was like, no problem.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, so it was very nice hauler, and, the engine guys were milling about, doing some things. We went to the very back of the hauler, man, where it was nice and plush. And got to talk to Tommy a little while about Alex Bowman and how things were going to go with him today, and a lot of the charity work that they're doing and that they did that week there at the track was it's just phenomenal.
Right.
Speaking about charity work, of all the things that we are learning about these drivers when we interview them is great. They got huge hearts, and they want to try to help people.
Right.
So Tommy gave us a good interview, and we got out and went back to the media center, started more or less just dumping out all of our media that we had picked up along the way that morning.
Right.
And I look up at the schedule, and it says Taya Kyle.
Right.
And I said, wait a minute. It wasn't the guy from American Sniper, was it? His name Chris Kyle?
Chris Kyle, yes.
And Tony said, yeah. I said, this is his wife. I didn't know they were going to interview her.
Right.
And she came into the media room. Well, I'll have to say before she came into the media room, I snuck out of the media room to go get a drink.
Right.
And when I went in the lobby, there was about 40 police officers.
Right.
fully armed, and they were searching everything. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Maybe I need to go back in the other room. But they were everywhere, man. They were in the bathroom. I mean, you can only imagine being in a stall and some joker sticks a mirror or something under there. Hey, are you okay there?
Yeah, I don't think that happened.
But these guys were doing it for a reason. And then after those guys left, we looked outside, and there was like 8 or 9 FBI agents out there.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
they were armed and
well covered. Yes.
I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, Concord Police, FBI,
I'm telling you,
the whole area had their own departments there.
Yeah,
and it was a well secured event, and that was great. Plus
there was
a military.
Yeah, it's like we're talking about 4,000, at least 4,000 active duty military.
Right
there, and then Taya walked in. And she is a very articulate woman. She is a woman that has not let a tragedy define the rest of her life.
Yeah.
The murder of Chris Kyle was a tragedy. It was an American tragedy.
Right.
Not just a tragedy to her,
yeah.
but it's her faith in God and her country and a lot of things that are what get her through the day.
Yeah, she had a huge decision to make. She had to decide.
Yes, she did.
She had to decide if she was just going to go close it in and just be a home and enjoy that, or if she's going to carry the torch for Chris Kyle and all the work he's done and share her story and help out all the other, spouses of military that have gone through a tough situation.
Exactly.
It was I can't imagine what it would be to go through that kind of decision.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I come from a family that we have an active duty military special forces person. And that's all I'm going to say.
Right.
In our family. And whenever it's time for this person to go, he has to go.
Right.
But he has a very specialized job, and not exactly what Chris Kyle does, but it's sort of in the neighborhood. But we all support him. The entire family supports him. No matter what we have to do some things sometimes, that inconveniences everybody. But, hey, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, just imagine your spouse or your kid, and you're planning that birthday party or you're planning that anniversary or you're planning that summer vacation, and these people have to just turn it off and go somewhere else.
Exactly.
And
they have no other recourse.
As upset as some people might get about not being able to go to a birthday party because whatever happened, they wrecked a car, they're sick or something like that. These people have a whole different situation, and
it is. It's very tough.
But
there are positive and good things that come out of that. I mean, there's life will deal you a pretty decent hand sometimes, even when you're looking at a bunch of mixed cards in your hand. You always get a couple of aces every once in a while. You got to keep that in mind.
Right.
And anyway, she was a very good person to talk to. There will be a podcast interview with Taya in the future. We are just giving her some time to finish up her book tour and what Chris's foundation was called. It was the Chris Kyle Frog Foundation. Tony, can you tell me what that stands for?
Go ahead. I've added it to our links to our video.
Yeah. Actually, it's just I think it's an acronym for something that I don't have in front of me right now. But it is just look it up online. It's Chris Kyle Frog Foundation.com. And she has a lot of good family on her side. Her sister's husband, I think, is the publicist for that. And he's just a great guy. He's from Australia, so he's a lot of fun to talk to.
Right.
But it's something that you need to read her book, American Wife.
Right.
You need to read that. If you think you have any kind of trouble at all in your life, you need to read this book.
Right.
By the time you get done with that, you're going to say, wow, hey, I got nothing compared to that.
Yeah.
But she's doing well with it. I mean, she has decided that she's not going to let anybody or anything change what she feels, the way she feels about anything, her religion, her family. Like you said, she could have shut it all down and it would have been over.
Right.
But she decided to do something with her life, and that meant a lot. She was given the Stonewall Jackson Award. NASCAR gave her that, and that's an honorary award it's probably about the highest civilian award that you can get when you are designated the highest level of a patriot in this country. Right. And she's something else. I mean, this woman has got my vote for president if she ever runs.
Right. And she did talk about Chris enjoying NASCAR when he was alive. He got the tour. He got to see the pit crews. She said he really enjoyed the teamwork and became a huge fan and became a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan.
Mm-hmm.
After sitting through a driver's meeting and just seeing how realistic these guys are, just like everyone else, just good people. Yeah. And so that was pretty neat.
Dale Jr.'s a great driver, but he's also a good person.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of his dad in him, but he can tell that he's got a lot of his mom in him too. Right. He's a real soft-hearted guy sometimes,
Right.
But he's a heck of a driver, no doubt about it. But I think what she had told me about Chris, or what really got to Chris the most, is the humility that Dale Jr. carries with him, and how the pit crews work in such unison. They're such teams. He saw a guy changing a tire during a race, and he broke his finger. But you would have never known it. He kept going and finished the transactions, so to speak, and the car pulled out. Then he got his finger taped up, and then he stayed in and worked the rest of the race.
Right.
And that's more or less, if you're a Navy SEAL or a Special Forces person, that's what you're looking at having. That's what you have forward. That's what you have to look forward to in this life. Just because you got a little bump in the road, hey, so what?
Right.
You're going to get some more.
Yeah. We helped out. Well, I don't know if we helped out, but we tried to help out and promote J.J. Yeley's initiative he had there also. He ran in the community center.
Hope for Warriors is probably one of the best out there. Kind of helps soldiers, mesh back into society with whatever they need, jobs, counseling. I'm sure they have, the greatest insurance in the world when you're in the military, but, sometimes there's always that little bit more that you need. And J.J. Yeley really believes in what he does. He really believes in this charity. And he's a great guy. Didn't mind to tell us. We went through the whole, group interview with him, but then I wanted to dig a little deeper, so I grabbed him and pulled him aside. And he didn't mind at all. He just, he was like a social butterfly. He just jumped right in there, man, and told us everything that we needed to know.
Right. Yeah, I'm a J.J. Yeley fan now.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And if you'll check out their YouTube page, Hope for Warriors, on YouTube, actually they have included our interview with J.J. Yeley on their page.
Right.
And I guess we must have done something right. I don't know. We all we were trying to do is give everybody a shot, and wow, it was it was a good thing.
I don't want to toot our own horns too much, but I think we got some information that some of the other media didn't reach for, and I think it's
sure that's what we do.
That's that we added a little bit of value where we could. I think that was good.
Exactly. And
it's paying off.
Yeah, we don't. You don't. If you ever see us in the media room at any NASCAR race, we're not sitting there just grabbing stuff out of the air. We're not a newspaper, or we're not. We're technically not a radio station either, but we, we're something that those guys don't know what to do with.
Right.
They have no idea. We'll go in, we'll load up every device that we have with us with some type of a media, whether it be a video, a picture, or an interview that we've picked up while we were out. And, we may jump back and forth 8 or 10 times a day out of the media room back out to the race.
Right.
And nobody does that. I mean, nobody does that anymore because we have all these things that help us, are supposedly helping us out. But
right.
Man, I wouldn't change it for the world. I think it's the way that you should do things.
Definitely.
Because you get the story behind the story.
Right.
That nobody's going to hear unless we go out and do this. So
right.
That's what we got to do.
So we're finally getting a little closer to the race happening.
Yeah, that's like at 6 p.m.
Right. I mean, we wore it out, and we were probably pretty tired by that time. By the time the race actually started.
Oh yeah.
I think that's probably the first break we took is just Well, I'll just say this: I was listening to them sing "God Bless America," and the drivers were getting introduced.
Right.
And I had to take a bathroom break, and I'm in the restroom there.
Should we elaborate on that?
In the media room. Well, this is in the media room, media center. Not many people in there because things are getting ready to happen. It's either you're in the room where the action is, but you're not in the lounge, and you're not in the media center. You're ready
right.
to do work at that point if you're a real media person.
Exactly.
So I was in the restroom because I've been holding off for a while, and so no one else is in there, and washing my hands there. And someone comes in, and I'm looking in the mirror, through my face behind me, and I see a fire suit and the words Jimmy Johnson on the back of the fire suit. And Jimmy, I spoke to him as he went out. I said, Jimmy, I think you're running a little short on time. He said, yeah, I know. This is the closest bathroom we're at.
Did he wash his hands?
Well, I'm not answering that question. I'm a big Jimmy fan, But,
God, that's nasty. Yeah, but you got to wash your hands.
They go 600 miles. They probably have 2 or 3 of them
taking
care of business in their fire suits. So.
Well, sure, but I don't know. Anyway.
But Chase Elliott was in the same boat, but I wasn't in there with him.
Yeah, I saw him running through there. I was like, what are they doing in here?
And you have to think about it. That's just a grueling race. You're going to be in a car a minimum of around 4 hours.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure things are going to happen in those 4 hours that you're just not going to be able to control that much. So.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the best situation they can be in when they're sitting in that car, and I can understand that.
That's exactly right.
It's a tough thing. 600 miles, it's a tough race.
Yeah, man, we think we got it bad. That's a rough gig right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they had a lot of people in the pit area.
Yes.
Tons.
I was surprised. I was surprised how many people who weren't media sprung for those pit passes to be down there.
Well,
I was shocked.
They were enjoying it. Everyone was courteous.
Everybody.
Of course, you can't go through gates at certain times and things like that because when there's transitioning into the hot pits and they block everything off for a little bit. But everyone's still courteous. People got to see a great show. It was a good race. There's really a lot of room. There's a lot of room in the pit road. It's a little bit different than Bristol where you're packed so tight. And Charlotte, you can just pick your driver's pit if you're a fan and just hang out near there.
Exactly.
Some people might go up into the grandstands. Some people might just watch the huge screen display on the back side
tell
of the
me,
track.
how big was that?
I'm gonna have to look it up, but it's huge, man. It's like one of the largest screens and outdoor screens in the world.
Is it bigger than what they have at the Cowboys Stadium?
I'm not sure. It may be.
Massive.
I know it was the biggest when they put it up there. I think it was the biggest ever. I think it's probably been beat by then. But
yeah,
and you can see it clearly in the daytime, and you can see it. It's beautiful at night. So.
Oh my gosh, it was like watching my TV at home, or something. But it was like massive. I'm gonna shoot a measurement out here. I'm gonna guess at probably about 75 feet long.
Right.
And probably 35 or 40 feet wide. It was massive. And, you saw people that were inside, the infield.
Right.
And they would just crack out some chairs, man, so they could see the screen well. And they'd sit right there and watch the race.
Yeah, I mean, that was it for some people, just hanging out in the camping areas and watching the race.
Oh, yeah.
On the big screen. And that's a heck of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got to see, of course, the infield, we don't have the best view other than that screen. But we could see things happen.
But we're spoiled, though. I mean,
Right.
We live here or close to Bristol Motor Speedway.
Right.
And, man, there's not a bad seat in the house, dude. I mean, unless you got that one seat sitting behind the pole or something.
Right, I had that one.
Otherwise, you're getting the best view of everything. I wonder if they really sell that seat.
Well, they did to me some years ago.
Sorry, didn't mean to bring up some bad memories there.
Well, if I had really wide-set eyes, maybe. Like E.T. I think E.T. would have had a perfect seat because that pole probably wouldn't have.
You'd have a job in the circus, too. Oh, my goodness. The race was great. And after the race, though, I think, except for the one part where Jimmy Johnson slid and hit the infield wall finally.
Right.
He had slid once earlier in the day, and I was like, oh, no. I've seen it happen to him before. And,
he had a rough
when he banged the front end up, man, he came, you were at the gate where he was coming in, and I just happened to be walking back toward the media center, and he almost ran over top of me.
Right.
But I guess we were in the way. I'm not sure. I think he was a little.
We were out of the way.
Yeah, I think he was just a little pissed. I don't know. It could have been.
It's a free for all at that point. He just want to get his point A, point B. You don't care who's in between. And we signed waivers, early on saying that it's okay if they run over.
Yeah, that's true. Oh well. But anyway, he had to go around the pit, around the garage area, all the way around to the other side to find his box that he could pull into. And when he got in there, Chad Knaus was right on it.
Oh,
he was there supervising everything that went on. I'm not sure exactly how long the car was in there, but it was in there for a while. I don't know how many laps he was down at that point, but, they got the car fixed. There was a lot of metal parts I was listening to. I mean, I seriously think that they had to take the whole front suspension out from under this car. With the speeds that they run there, 170, 180 miles an hour, easy, that's a constant. And, sometimes they're doing 190. When you lose control of the car and you do hit an inside wall, whether it's an outside or inside wall, something's going to break. I mean, something's going to break.
Well, they had a full nose piece for that car from the front.
Oh yeah, I saw that
all the way to the splitter bar, and
exactly.
It was black and white painted, and it had Lowe's on it sideways, and I thought that was really cool. Where it was a generic front nose piece for that car. There was no more way to open the hood. You just tape it on.
Mm-mm.
It gives you a little bit of aerodynamics to go back out on the track. And sure enough,
that's the thing too, man.
Yeah.
If you don't have what you had before you came in there, when you leave that garage, then you're at a disadvantage.
Right.
For the rest of the night.
And things are different now. Now that you have the chase, you're either in it by wins or some other reason, but since Jimmy's already in it, he don't have to worry about the points, so he don't have to go out there and run laps for points. He's just running laps to for sponsors and to get more money or whatever else. Trying to do anything he can to finish the highest possible. He could have just parked that car and not went back out there. And
probably.
And here's a 6-time champion just going right back out there and just where I've seen other guys just park it.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty.
He did a very good job. I mean, kudos to Jimmy Johnson for getting back out there and giving the fans what they want. It didn't really do, like you're saying, it didn't do him any good, not as much as you would think. But he pulled it off for the fans.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
that's true. But the race was pretty. There was one or two little small things that happened, but nothing really big. No really big wrecks, not like the Talladega or something like that. But there was good driving going on, a lot of good moves, guys passing other guys when they weren't expecting it. And I gotta say something here. Kyle Busch, whether you love him or whether you hate him, I got a chance to see Kyle Busch walk across the floor in his fire suit after the race.
Right.
And this man was out, 3 weeks?
Right.
4 weeks at the most.
Long time. With
a broken foot and a broken leg.
Right.
Okay? Hip injuries from the shock. He has worked himself back to getting into a race car and did a great job at the All-Star race.
Right.
And then he had the guts to get in a car and run the 600.
Right.
I got to take my hat off to a guy like that. Like I said, whether you're a fan or whether you're not, the man he's an amazing driver. And he came in 11th, but I don't even want to know what the makeup is of those braces or whatever they have on his legs that allow him to get back in there, plus operate the gas pedal and the clutch and do everything that he needs to do, that he loves to do, and still be as effective as he is. I mean, there's guys out there that have a lot more respect for him now, than they do other drivers because, they may have a tummy ache or this must be bothering them, and then they don't drive good, which is fine.
Right.
But this guy's got, he had the entire under part of, lower part of his body taken out from under him. And the only time that he stayed in the bed was when he was having other operations to put himself back together.
Right. I'm a Kyle Busch fan now. I wasn't a Kyle Busch fan until Saturday. I saw him walk out to get in his car, and he looked like he's walking gingerly.
Yeah.
And I saw him race so hard for the All-Star race, and then race so hard in the 600, and then came out there and did an interview with the media because he knows everyone wants to know how he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out there, and he was the freshest looking person out there after 600 miles.
Oh yeah.
That I saw. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Man, he's doing well.
He actually had guts enough to take a question from me. I think I'm on some of those guys. I think they're like, don't take a question from that guy. He'll make you laugh or something. Because they're so serious after the race.
I think you might be Tom Green or something. Ollie G.
Yeah, I'm not going to tear anything up or anything. I just want to find out how you're doing.
Right.
But a lot of these guys in there in the media, they have and they have questions that they have to ask.
Right.
And we don't. Thank God we can do, what we want to do.
Right.
And, my question was pretty effective. What kind of physical therapy are you still doing, and how's the baby doing?
Yeah,
those were the two things that I thought that people that listen to us, I thought they would like that, and they would want to know about these things.
Right. Definitely. That was something that had to be asked.
Yeah, and when he told us that, hey, Samantha's dealt with the baby all week, I guess tonight starts my turn with the baby.
Right.
man, I had even more respect for him because, your legs broke, then you deal with the baby coming, and you have a whole week at Charlotte Motor Speedway on different things you have to do, visit sponsors and visit fans, and just doing your regular due diligence with NASCAR. And then as soon as you drive your 600, you got to go home and take care of the baby.
Right. Hey,
that's when you have more respect for these guys, and you see how close they have to deal with their life like we do.
Baby will change your whole world, and
no doubt about it.
Some people it doesn't, but you can tell Kyle he's a regular guy, and he's
right down the line, man. He's grown up quite a bit since we first saw him drive. So I'm really surprised.
He's in a great situation there on that team.
Yes, he is. Anybody that could drive for Joe Gibbs, you're going to have a challenge with what you have to do, but he keeps that challenge fresh for you, just like he did when he was coaching football. So it's got to be a good situation. There's plenty of room for growth. That's a good thing.
And Joe Gibbs, man, I've never seen somebody just so happy. I saw 20 years come off of him as he was running down the pits. And
oh, yeah.
Carl Edwards.
I was actually trying to shoot some video. He went through the frame really quick, and I thought, who was that? I looked at you, and you're like, that was Joe Gibbs. I was like, running that fast? God.
Oh, he was happy. He has figured out Charlotte this week.
Well, they know what to do in Charlotte. There's no doubt about it. And then he won the All-Star race, and then you got Kyle driving so good, and then teammate, Carl Edwards does the backflip at the end of the race like we all expected.
Right.
And then he goes into the stands and visits all of his closest friends. And somebody asked Carl, they said, don't you think that's kind of dangerous to do that? And Carl has, it's like our slogan that we have here at Net Radio, Dogs, no fear.
Right.
And, man, Carl went up in there and just hugged them and was waving the flag, and they were patting him on the back. And I'm sure the girls were patting him on the bottom. And, who knows what goes on in that little situation. But, man, Carl is a heck of a driver, but he's a great guy, too. I mean, he's just a regular guy like us, man.
Yeah, I'm sure after that many hours, they've weeded out anybody that might be on the wrong side of the crowd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like, Joe Gibbs was sitting there kind of, I'll say unsatisfied when, they were all talking about everybody drinking so much alcohol up in the stands.
Yeah, Joe's great.
But it worked out, It worked out. Joe was happy. Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
And I think the driver that just about everybody wanted to won.
Yeah.
The only other guy that I know I saw a lot of fans that wanted to see win was Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Right.
But he was he raced strong all night. But he was kind of disappointed because he knew they had the car. They had a great car.
Right. And Jeff Gordon too. I think everyone wants
to
see his final victory somewhere.
And Kyle and Jeff battled it out a 3 times, man. And, Jeff Gordon, I got to take my hat off to him, man. This guy is, he's one of the best drivers in history. And good thing about it is he's already got a job with Fox next year. So
can, other than getting a book and an autograph from Taya Kyle, getting that press release that they handed out from Fox Sports announcing Jeff Gordon turning into a broadcaster or announcer, that's going to be the second most important thing I'm just going to hang on to for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, that was pretty neat.
That was a nice thing. It's a sign of the end of an era, and I just hope he gets another win. And
I think he will. I think things are going to happen for him. I think when he gets toward the end of the year, he's going to get a little more hungry. he did go hang out at the Indy 500 and then flew straight to Charlotte and got there in time for the race, which was really cool. And, Juan Pablo Montoya won the Indy 500. And when they showed that on the big screen, to tell you how big the NASCAR family is, too, we talk about this all the time. To be the way that we are in this world, NASCAR has the biggest family of people. They showed it on the screen. Juan Pablo wins the Indy 500.
Right.
You could tell when they showed it because the entire place stood up and cheered.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man, it just gets proved to me every time we go to a race that everybody's family. So,
right. Yeah, that's what Coach Gibbs keeps talking about. When he's out there, everything's family. We like to talk to those drivers that talk about family, so it's a big deal.
Sure.
And
well, after we saw cousin Carl go into the winner's circle and came in and did the interviews and all that stuff, and at that point we were pretty ragged out, both of us. We were, man, we had just seen our better days.
Right.
So we loaded everything up, including ourselves, and got to the car, fired up the old Prius, and headed to, headed home. Have you ever figured out what happened wherever we were? I mean, we pulled off an on-ramp to get something to eat there.
Yeah.
And there was like
the
20 cops. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mooresville Hospital exit, which is, I think, 33.
Yeah.
I got off there on the ramp there, and there was plenty of North Carolina State Police there.
Yep.
And I knew that we were in good shape because neither one of us had had a drop of alcohol all day.
Nope. A drop, man. Thank God.
I gave this lady my license, and she didn't smile or anything. She said, "Go on."
No, she didn't. That's what shocked me. I mean, I was used to everybody smiling at me. They smiled at me all day, and this lady's like, "Yeah, you're not funny to me."
Yeah, it was all over. Rolled down to a McDonald's that was closed. It went up.
That was cool.
Went up one more exit and got some chow.
Yeah.
And headed on home.
That's it, man. And what a day. We did get back in time to enjoy a small portion of of our Memorial Day with our families.
Right.
But the cool thing was, Net Radio Dogs, we got it in our blood to go do what we do.
Right.
And Tony and I both appreciate everybody's attention and everybody that's liking the Facebook page. That's very important to us. Cracking open YouTube and looking at our videos that we've put up, and the interviews that we do them for a reason. We're just not, we do it either to help someone, the driver, or their cause, or it's somebody that, or something that we think you guys need to know about. But we appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Like I said, the little messages you send or whatever. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for people that liked what we did. So
right, yeah, we're always open to
kudos.
Comments and suggestions and kudos. And,
sure.
Yeah, if you want us to help you out, let us know.
Yeah, we can do that. So as netradiodogs.com grows, Facebook page, Instagram, everything that we do, Twitter is very important to us and what we do. We do what we can to help everybody, but hey, like Tony says, send us a message every once in a while. You can send a message to us on the Facebook page and let us know if there's something you'd like to know about, something you'd like to hear about. We'll be happy to oblige if we can pull it off.
Yeah, we'll go out. We'll go that extra mile to try to find out that information, and that's one thing I think we're good at. So
exactly.
Nothing too hard. Nothing too hard for us.
Exactly. We'll that's right. We hopefully we can build a good relationship with everybody, and hopefully we'll all go through this world together a little bit happier. Maybe you guys will watch an interview or watch a video we put out and just smile one day.
Yeah.
You know,
hope,
and that's
hope
all we need.
Hope we made somebody laugh.
Hey, yeah. If I go, you know, I'll quote the immortal Chris Farley. He told his mom or somebody, I think it was, or his aunt maybe, a few weeks before he passed. He said, you know, if I can make one person laugh today, then I've done my job.
Yeah, that's the way I feel.
And, you know, that's the way we feel. So thanks for listening. This is our post-race podcast for the Coca Cola 600. Keep on listening, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Good night.